Hey everybody, Derek here to bring you another video for Z Nation Season 2. And yesterday I did my video for the predictions that were given out in that interview about what Season 2 was going to be. And today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the pictures, the behind the scenes photos that were released for Season 2. So you're going to get a first-hand look here. I might divide this video into two parts depending on how long this is, but I'm going to show you the photos and explain what I think each of them means. And first up here on your screen, if you're watching this, is a photo of Vasquez. This is the character that is going to be played by Matt Cedeno in the upcoming second season. As you'll see here, he's wearing Kevlar, and he's holding a large revolver. And I think, you can see in the picture, he looks very tough, rugged, but at the same time, he really does have that, handsome protagonist type of look. Typically you try to, sometimes the protagonist looks, very handsome. He's your, knight in shining armor kind of thing. And, Vasquez takes on both of those qualities because I think that he definitely looks tough, but at the same time, you could also see him perhaps as a little bit of a hero figure. I think this is a very nice photo. I think it really shows a lot about who the character is, how tough he's going to be. And of course, we already do know that he is going to be hunting for Murphy, and he does have questionable motives. So just exactly what he's going to be doing, I guess we'll have to wait and see for season 2, but he definitely looks to be a very tough guy, so I'm very interested to see what they will do with his character. And if you'll be looking here, the next thing is going to be a picture of Emilio Rivera. If you watch Sons of Anarchy, you will notice that he is one of the actors on Sons of Anarchy. He played Alvarez. And you'll see here that he's wearing a black and red suit. Looks very tough. He does really have that villain complex, that mean look. I'm pretty sure that his character is going to be a villain, or at least maybe if not an outright villain, his motives and his motivation is going to be antagonistic towards our group of survivors. I think it demonstrates that he is a major player. I wouldn't be surprised if he was one of the individuals that was hunting Murphy. I do wonder if Citizen Z will broadcast out there, what happened for somebody to look for Murphy. And if there is a way for people to benefit themselves, they may hunt down Murphy for their own, particular good needs and whatever they may have their motivations set towards. But I think that it could potentially be dangerous. And I think that he seems like somebody who's very powerful, seems like he's not doing too bad for himself in the zombie apocalypse, which makes me wonder if he's some kind of a leader, and somebody who is, saying, hey, go out and get Murphy and I'll pay you this or I'll do this. He seems like he's that kind of person. So I like this photo, and I'm very interested to see what his character brings to the show. Next up, we have a picture of Addie. As you can see, she's got her hair tied up, and she's holding the Z-Whacker, her baseball bat with the spikes on it. I hope to see her use it a little more in Season 2, obviously. And if you also look there, it looks like she's making a radio of some kind, or some kind of device that would pick up some kind of signal. Part of me thinks that, there is a visibility for her, that she was able to see that the bombs went off or something happened. She may have seen that, or maybe she really is waking up to her senses, realizing, that the group needed her, and maybe getting a hold of Citizen Z. I think that's what she's doing. She's either getting a hold of Citizen Z, or she's listening in to see if Citizen Z has news about the mission. And she might want to find out about the bombs, about the group's status, anything. So I think that's what she's doing there, and this may help bring Addie back into the story and basically give her her avenue to get back to the group. So there may be a chance for that, but I think that's what she's doing here, and that's what this picture is saying. In the next photo, we have what looks like to be a father and a daughter, or at least it's a man, probably in his late 30s, early 40s, and a young girl probably around the age of 10, 11, maybe even 12. There's no word on who they are. I have not seen anything in regards to, their names, what they're a part of, but I do have a little bit of a prediction that's based on some other photos. I think that as a result of the bombs, people are going to be going to shelter. And I wouldn't be surprised if Citizen Z would, get out on his radio and say, hey, people, there were bombs that just went off. Get out of the area or get into shelter, something along that line until, the radiation blows away. I mean, I don't understand all the science behind nuclear bombs, but of course, I think that people are going to be taking shelter in various places. Citizen Z may know of some shelters, and he may tell people about them, and then Warren's group is going to head towards them. So I think that that's a very possible idea of what's going on here. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're there for. And, this may be the area where Doc might get treated. They could also be people that Murphy ran into. I think that there is going to be a little bit of time where Murphy is away from the group, but I also think that there may be times where their paths intersect, but that Murphy will keep trying to escape or get away, something like that. And Murphy may be the one that runs into them, and he may, turn them into his, slaves or something. We really don't know, but he might bite them. And, turn them into the zombie-human hybrids. But I think that it's more likely that this is a shelter to take cover after some of these nuclear bombs from Doctor of the Dead might go off. So that's my thought process there. The next photo is a photo of Warren. She's carrying large water containers, as you can see. I think they're empty. I don't think they're full. I can't really tell. Excuse me. But I think that, at this point, she's just going out there trying to get resources, trying to get water for her group, for Doc, things like that. And I think that it's going to show just how bleak things are now that the bombs have gone off, they've lost their mission, and really right now the motivation to do something. So I think this is just a demonstration that Season 2 is going to be a rough start for our survivors, trying to get resources in order for them to survive. In the next photo, we have another photo of Warren. We see that her face is covered up, so again, this is showing some of the bleakness of the way that things are. There might be a lot of dust in the air as a result of the bombs going off, so she's probably, covering her face to prevent her from breathing in that nasty stuff. And, she's either standing guard, making sure that zombies aren't coming, or bad, people, bandits. Maybe she already knows about the mercenaries that are after Murphy. We don't really know what episode this is from. It could be from the season premiere. It could be from several episodes, later. We don't really know. And I think that she's either standing guard or she's looking for or at something. So that's what seems to be going on there in that photo. The next photo, this is a big one. This is of Warren, 10,000, and Doc sitting together in like some kind of a makeshift shelter. I mean, there's just a bunch of debris, scattered around, but I think that they can, use it as cover for something, against some of the zombies if they wanted to, duck down behind something. I think that right now, it looks like they're trying to make plans. I would not be surprised if this was one of the first scenes that we see in the season premiere, because it does look like Doc is a little pale. He's, holding himself, like he's holding his hands around his stomach there, and I think that's an indication of him, holding his wound. People tend to, kind of do that, like they scrunch up a little bit whenever they're hurt. We see that happening, so I think that he's doing that. We have 10,000 who's, watching over him, and I think that really this is just about them trying to make plans. They're trying to figure out what to do next, and I think that this is a very big scene, and it does show who's with who at this point. whenever the episode starts. So at this point, Murphy and Cassandra are in their own particular areas. They may meet up, but at first, it's just going to be those three. And the next photo, this is another big photo. This is absolutely amazing. But we have two people in the photo. We have someone on the right who is wearing a weird looking, suit jacket. He's got some kind of a pale hand. And then we have another person who is wearing gold, looks like colored lingerie, or those really short shorts. I don't know what they're called, but very attractive, very nice looking on this character. And I think that even though they're not showing the faces, I think that this is Murphy and Cassandra. And it's definitely raising a lot of questions for me. Excuse me. First off, why are they dressed like that? It almost seems to give off this villain persona, like the bad guys always seem to wear these very interesting outfits, and it does look that way. It looks very weird. It looks a little menacing. Even though you don't see the faces, just the atmosphere behind the photo, the way that it looks, it does look a little bit mischievous, very, very dark from what I'm seeing here. And it makes you wonder, is Murphy really bringing on a villain complex? Is he going to be an antagonist of some sort in the upcoming season? Or is he just doing what Murphy does and just, is lazy, does what he wants to do? Because the other thing that I was thinking about was, well, since he can control Cassandra, part of me wonders if he made her dress like that. Is Cassandra also taking on this, evil side of herself, wild? Because it kind of seemed that way when she attacked those Kurian's guards in the season finale. It makes you wonder if she kind of has that kind of an attitude right now of wanting to hurt people and wanting to hurt things. Or is Murphy, in a sense, making her his slave, making her dress up in a more provocative way because that's something that Murphy would like to see? I'm not sure, and it could be either one. But it makes you wonder, what are their plans? Do they have an idea of something that they are going to do? Where did they get these items of clothing? Are they going to come across them? Are they going to find them in the shelter? I don't know. We'll take a look and see what happens in the opening season premiere, but definitely looks a little dark in that photo. I see I'm running a little long on time here, so I'm going to bring this part of the video to a close, and you can watch the next part in part 2.